Yo, what is good, YouTube? We are back with another video. Today is April 28th, 29. It's currently 9:30. Today was a tricky day in the market, so I'm not gonna lie. My original bias is currently playing out, so that kind of sucks, but um, very tricky market to read. And we're just gonna start from the beginning of today. So actually, let's just start from last night. Last night we had a 4 hour gap that I was looking at, but I didn't trade it just due to the fact that I didn't want to take any PM trades. But we have this 4 hour gap marked out, and I wanted to see this gap get tagged into and see us reject off of it and potentially go lower. And as we can see, that is exactly what happened coming into um starting from last night. We tagged into it and we displaced lower. What's wrong with my mouse? And we dropped. It was like 110 points, 106 points coming into market open. And so looking at market open this morning, I can go ahead and delete that. We see that we have these two 1 hour gaps. This one right here, which I have line or shown with this trend line right here, and then we have this 1 hour bullish gap. And so these are two gaps I'm potentially looking at, but I also have that higher time frame 4 hour gap in mind in case I want to take shorts, right? What is wrong with my mouse, for the love of God? So with these two gaps, or these three gaps, these three higher time frame gaps that we have, I was neither bullish nor bearish. And with that in mind, starting the day, right, we start with this displacement lower, and I'm like, okay, we just created this 1 minute gap. We just tagged into this 1 hour, and we have this 1 hour below. And so, and then mind you, oh, there's something wrong with my mouse. Alongside with that, we had just taken out this London low and this Asia low. So I was potentially looking for, we had these two lows that we had just taken out. And with seeing that, I'm now looking for a potential Judas where we have this sweep of the lows. We create a gap to either side, and we get a tap into a unmitigated gap, and we are looking for just a nice clean reversal play, right? So with that in mind, we just swept out London low, we swept out Asia low, and I'm looking for, bro, there's generally something wrong with my mouse. And I'm looking for higher. So that would have potentially been, that would have been a play like this with targeting these highs, break even here, targeting these highs, and then potentially targeting London with my stop right below the gap, right? Just due to the what I just said, sweeping out the lows, 1 hour gap tap, and a nice V shape that we saw. But then we started to lag around here, and so that kind of turned me off to the idea of taking longs. And then once again, the overall 4 hour is showing us bearish. It's showing us that we are sort of bearish, right? We tag into this 4 hour and we are displacing lower off of it. So now I'm also thinking, if these longs don't play out, if we can hold this 1 minute bearish gap, which I also believe turned out to be a 5 minute gap, right? It was a 5 minute gap within here as well. Yeah. So what I was looking at, if we end up holding this 5 minute, 1 minute bearish gap, then we can actually also look to take shorts once we once we inverse this 1 minute bullish gap that we have right here, so we're once again targeting these lows and potentially this New York PM low that we have down here with our stop. It's kind of a wide stop, but with our stop right here. So it'd be a nice little 1-to-1 almost, or a little bit over 1 RR. And so I did have these two plays in mind, but once I saw that we held consequent encroachment of this 1 minute bullish gap right here, I was now more turned on to the fact that we could possibly be looking for longs. And we see off this candle that we just get a nice flush upwards. And so I did take longs here, and I did end up getting a break even, because I did go break even at this point right here. I did go break even here. Now, with hindsight, I'm not mad at this break even, or I'm not mad about going break even. I thought that we would have went and taken out this high, and potentially London, potentially this high right here, and we just didn't. So it is what it is. And then we start displacing lower, or not displacing lower, but after we took out this high, we ended up putting in a SMT with ES, which I believe was this right here. And now I did get a break even. So this next trade wasn't taken with any bias whatsoever or any ego whatsoever. But what happened is we see that we have this 5 minute gap marked out, and it's also a 1 minute gap. And oh wow, we are ripping, man. That sucks. Is it right here? Yeah. So right here, we see that we did put in a SMT with ES. And this is also a 5 minute gap, 1 minute bearish gap as well. And so seeing that we just now swept out this high right here, we created an SMT, 5 minute gap, 1 minute gap. I'm now looking for shorts. Once again, I didn't come in with either a bullish nor bearish buy. So whatever played out, and we have this 5 minute gap right now. SMT created, swept out this high, and shorts do look good, but we did end up creating this 5 minute bullish gap. And as we can see, 859 is a candle where we started displacing lower. So if I want to really take shorts, I would have needed to wait another 5 minutes for this 5 minute bullish gap to go inverse, but I did have a 30-second bullish inverse on the 30-second time frame. So I did end up taking shorts, and it was playing out. But at this point in time, I could tell that ES was not displacing, but and I could tell that we were sort of decoupled with ES trying to go higher. And so theoretically, this would have been good shorts. Maybe I should have waited for this 5 minute bullish gap to fully inverse, which we just didn't get. Let me go ahead and clear this up. But yeah, this is my second bid right here, and we were showing strength to the downside, but this would have been my break-even point, and we just failed to hit it. Once again, we just failed to hit this break-even. We were like 2 points away from going break-even, and we took a loss. And so now my original play that I originally wanted, the longs, I failed to get, and then the shorts that I ended up taking also failed. So I did take one trade today, which was one break even and one win, or one break even and one loss, and we are currently, wow, that hurts. That hurts for sure. That hurts. Wow. And I was potentially looking to take longs off of this 5 minute inverse, and we get a full delivery. Wow. Anyways, that's pretty much it for today. I hope y'all always got a dub. Yeah.